I'm unsure if I'm audible quite yet, but we're about to be anyways. Oh my god. Hello! I think I am audible again. I messed with my microphone. What's up, everyone? I would like to formally welcome you to the 2026 Neighpril Awards. Also known as, I have spent far too much time putting this together. I need to turn that off. Thank you for reminding me. I knew I forgot to do something. I will put those on manually. But this is... How do I begin to describe this without getting like super off tangent? I'm gonna get super off tangent. The very short version is every time I have a new outfit, it is a new model entirely. So I didn't reconnect the... I did not reconnect those yet. Okay, rewards. No. Channel points, here we go. Here we go, this is the button I'm looking for. We need to turn off our ears and such. No ears today. Only water and stretching. I'll be so real with you. Who's gonna do these? Okay, I think I'd actually add it to my stream deck. 1 second, let me see here. Clothes. Yeah, because this is an entirely... Here, let me see. If it ends up being too much of a side quest, I may forego the ears. Here we go. Let me see if that should work. Let me ears. Here, you get to admire them for a second, but I also just spent an unholy amount. Ah! No one even has that! Come back! Come back! Okay. Listen, I knew something was gonna happen. I meant to turn off the redeems before the stream. I'll be so real with you. I have been working on this for a month, but also I've been working up until like 5 minutes before the stream. That is my alarm. I knew I forgot something else. Oh god. You could spend 30 days preparing to do something. You can spend 30 days of your life preparing to do something, and then you actually go to do it, and you, oh yeah, here's all these little details. Here. I'm making a note now, because there's going to be a point where I can actually go get my medicine, but not right now. Okay, so. Okay, we're going to pretend that we're starting from here. So. Let me, once again, formally welcome you to the 2026 Neighpril Awards, where over the past month, we have played through 10 different horse games, and I appear tonight to award 16 different prizes to them. I said 15 when I was advertising this. I can't count. We have some really fun categories. I need to pull my script up. Okay. Okay, no more scuff from here on out. I actually have my script open. So 10 games, 16 categories, including things like best game, which is the obvious one, most relaxing, most fun, and other little things in between. There is an honorable mention as well. I'm very excited about that. Some of you may have a guess about what that is. We also have a lot of special guests and presentations today. First, we have 6 friends who are presenting categories for me this evening, who are all very wonderful people, and you can see them linked in the description on the YouTube side. There will also be credits at the very end of the stream. And then, what is far more exciting and important is that the fantastic people at Vanilla Sky Productions, who developed Sound of Horses, actually took the time to answer my interview questions. So we have a nice exclusive interview from the developers of Sound of Horses. That will go on about halfway through the show, so you have to stay till at least the halfway point because it's really cool and I think it's awesome. The games that are being nominated this evening are all ones I played for Horse Month, so unfortunately Expedition 33 will not be in this list. I will give it honorable mention number 2. I can't talk. Oh my god. honorable mention. Honorable mention number 1 is one that we have already discussed. Well, not in this stream, but previously. But anyways, I think that is everything in my lengthy little thing. Okay, I think that is everything. Yep, interview. Oh, this is all absolutely for fun. Please do not take my horse opinions as gospel. This is not meant to be a I will argue with you. My horse opinions are more accurate. It's more of just a, hey, this game is real good at graphics. You gotta go look at it. But anyways, that is my very long-winded... Oh, it took me No, it took me less than that because I had the waiting room. But that is my introduction. Thank you so much for showing up this evening, and now I have a bunch of awards to hand out. And to start out, what better category than horse care? Because we really care about horses. So now we need to care about the horse's care. Some of these games have like Nintendo style like bath systems. Some of them, you give them treats of different varieties. I like the different treats. You could train a bunch of them in like really high detail. Like it just keeps going. Like there's a lot of ways you could really care for and cherish your horse. But these games, it's very important that you could care for and cherish your horse. Let me make sure this is correct. You gotta make sure you care for and cherish your horse the best. Okay, that is correct. That is not correct. Okay, here we go. I was going to do this a separate way. That was a lot more streamlined, but my computer couldn't handle it, which is saying a lot considering what my computer is made of. I should have gotten a second computer for this, but... Anyways, now that we have, introduced our beautiful horse care topic, the 4 games that, out of all 10, had the best horse care and are up for this award. We go. Sound of Horses, Rancho Rivershine, Uma Musume, and Star Stable. All 4 of these games have very good horse care, and they are all very good at what they do in their own rights. They all have different ideas of what horse care could be. I think I should take the chat out of that. I think the chat makes it look a little goofy. Okay, we're going as we go here. We're going as we go here. What's up? But all 4 of these games have great horse care, but only one of them can have the best horse care. Is it the one that you can feed them the best treats? Is it the one where you give your horse girl emotional support? Is there one where you are the horse girl's therapist? Or is it the one where you give your horse the best saddle? Well, what's up? Out of all 4 of these categories, I think the winner for this one might be a little obvious, but it might just be me, because the winner is... Here we go. Uma Musume, where you are quite literally your horse girl's therapist. Out of all the games, this is the one where I think you have to really care about your horse's well-being the most. So, this had to be the winner. I don't know what to tell you. You have to give your horse emotional support too. You can't just give it... you can't just slap a carrot in its mouth and go, okay, there you go, that's the horse. Karaoke Night wins versus Saddles. Yeah! But that is our basic format. Here we go. We go back to here now. I'll probably get better at announcing these as the evening goes on. I'm also terribly nervous because I just spent the past month working on this. A lot of effort has gone into this, and it's probably a disproportionate amount. I'm gonna be so real with you. Congratulations to Uma Musume for the first win of the night. And in the name of transitions, I really do not have a good one for this one, but sound effects. Good sound effects are really important, okay? Sometimes you have really pretty birds chirping softly, and sometimes you have this giant laser void that goes and murders your eardrums, and you accidentally ride into the drone's flashlight. The games that are here have really good sound effects for different reasons. The winner is absolutely deserving of it, though. I will argue this, and I guess this is technically me arguing it for, like, an hour, but... Who is fighting for it tonight, and do they have a punching noise? Those are the questions. Let me make sure I select the correct these. Okay, so here we go. And that is this one. Okay. And this... Okay, like, I wanted to just have these as buttons, but it turns out doing that with the buttons, like, murders OBS. Okay, there we go. Bless. I appreciate. And show you the ride. Alright, remind me next time I introduce something to, like, switch out the files before I start introducing things. I think it makes it go smoother. But anyways, who is fighting for it tonight? We're going with that again. The nominees for sound effects. We have Equinox Homecoming, Unicorn Tales, Horsey Game, and Sound of Horses. All 4 of these have very unique sound effects. I've referenced 2 of these in my introduction. I'm very sure if you watched either of them, you could tell which ones they are. And I think the winner of this is really obvious, actually, because you probably guessed this one. I'm gonna be so real with you, but it's still very deserving of it nonetheless. The winner for sound effects is Sound of Horses, which I think in hindsight sounds pretty obvious, but hear me out. This game has, I think, the best in terms of, like, just ambient energy. The trail rides in this are super just zen because they have the most realistic forest noises. And it just makes the entire trail ride experience, like, freaking top tier. If I had to pick any of these games that has just good ambience in general, it is Sound of Horses. It's even in the title. I didn't think about it until I'm so serious. I was reading my little script. I have a 10-page script, by the way. But congratulations to Sound of Horses. Genuinely really good sound design. I really recommend just watching my stream and, like, looking through the trail ride sections. Literally the Sound of Horses. Very solid game. Okay, here we go. Time for the first of the fun things. To introduce this next category, I have an easier transition, first of all, because going from sound effects, we're going to soundtrack. And if I'm going to do a thing based on something's music, guys, we have one obvious person. Come on, we have, like, the one really... Who is the most obvious person I could have? The answer is Shoji. You know, the one who is literally the music man himself. He is on Twitch and YouTube. He is my brother, my partner in crime, and again, the certified music dude. He had literally no input on the winner whatsoever, but I'm going to say he agrees with me anyways. He also has quite the interesting... He has quite the interesting presentation, so everyone, let's all give some love to Shoji as he announces Best Soundtrack.
I always knew your inner horse girl would take you places, and now look at you, hosting the Neighpril Awards. I'm so proud. While I've been playing music essentially my whole life, what Himi may not know is that I've had many equine and equine-adjacent experiences. Some of my earliest memories are riding donkeys with my grandma, and eventually I would work with ponies nearly every day, guiding them around in a circle for kids to ride on at the zoo. One of these little guys, Thunder, had quite the personality. He always enjoyed testing the employees by trying to slip out of his harness or by reaching around to give him a quick nip if they weren't paying attention when they were taking off his saddle. That horse taught me a lot, like how to always be aware and keep a close eye out for mischief. Now I take these lessons into practice every day, particularly with the hijinks that Himi's always bringing me into. That said, that brings us to today, where I will be presenting the best soundtrack here for the Neighpril Awards. The nominees are Ranch of Rivershine, Equinox Homecoming, Star Stable, and Unicorn Tales. And the winner is... I don't know if you're going to do a drum roll or something here, but you should just do, like, instead you should do, like, a big horse whinny, like a big... You ready? You ready? All right. And the winner is... Unicorn Tales.
I forgot to beat it myself. I don't know why he thought I was going to take out that fantastic whinny and put a sound effect in. I don't know what he was thinking. No. F you, Shoji. You get to do your Winnie live for everybody. Thank you, Shoji, for introducing this soundtrack. And congratulations to Unicorn Tales, who, out of all the games, I think it gave me the most visceral, joyous reaction to their soundtrack, because I felt like I was transported to a 2002 computer game in the most fantastic way. I'm like yelling. I should pick this similar. Okay. Like, if I had to pick any game that gave me nostalgia despite being released within the past 5 years, it would be Unicorn Tales. And I blame a good 70% of that on the amazing soundtrack. Mr. Winnie goes to Shoji. You know what? I will agree to that. Shoji, he could have a Neighpril Award for Best Winnie. I remember to drink water, too. He could, you know what he could do? He could go voice a horsey game. They had human Winnies in that. It was terrifying. Yeah, that was actually the most terrifying one, was just listening in the races to the... It was terrifying. I'm repeating myself. Anyways, so, moving on. Let's talk characters for a second, okay? Some games have, like, really good graphics, and we're gonna get to that. Don't worry about that, but part of those graphics can also include the character design. A lot of these games, like, who have the most charming horsey that you want to make fan art of later, because it's so pretty and unique. Or the most memorable design that looks like it was drawn in MS Paint. And it should not work in any universe, but you adore it anyways. It is so varied, but we did manage to narrow it down to the most standout designs. Character design and personality are broke up into 2 different categories, for different reasons. But we are starting with character design. Here we go, and here we go. I mentioned I was gonna do this first, but I forgot to do it first. Okay. But anyways, now that I have remembered to actually do what I'm supposed to be doing, let's go into the nominees for who may have the best character design of all the 10 games. Here we go. Nominees for best character design are Uma Musume, Equinox Homecoming, Ranger Rivershine, and Star Stable. All 4 of these do have lovely character designs. I will be like, do not get me wrong, but only one of them can win. Is it going to be the game where the anthropomorphized horse girls have cool costumes? The game where they arguably have the most realistic and high detail designs? The one with the pretty graphics and fun outfits? Or the one where I spent 3 hours in the character creator? Like, all of these have a horse in this race. You know, I am actually living for these guesses right now. I'm gonna sip water, and you get 5 more seconds to guess while I sip my water. Okay. Now, out of all 4 of these, the game with the best character design, here we go. Uma Musume! You were correct. Because in a game with, I had to guess like at least 50 characters, all with individual high detail designs based off the real horses, who else is gonna win best character design? I don't think anybody was super surprised by this one, but it deserves its win no matter what. Congratulations to Uma Musume. And piggybacking off of that, there you go. I'm gonna click my buttons like a smart person beforehand this time. Okay, there we go, button. I have to give Uma Musume credit because it has like a lot of really good design aspects. I don't know, people talk about how Genshin Impact has kind of like invaded character designs as a whole. I think Uma Musume also has like definitely like given a lot of inspiration to people in their character designs. It's like, I like seeing just how the general populace gets inspired by things. I like seeing like somebody's design going, I think they like Uma. Or even looking at an Uma's design and going, what part of the horse really likes this thing? 2 Japanese horses at the Kentucky Derby today. I am so excited about the Derby. I'm gonna be so real. I did not realize today was the Derby. I did not plan this on purpose. I swear to God, I did not plan this on purpose. Although I am sad because the horse I was originally rooting for had to drop due to a scratch. So I'm sorry, the Puma. Hopefully you get a chance next year. I'm still up for debate on who I want to have as my new favorite for the Kentucky Derby. Let me look at the list of who's running again. Don't mind me. Okay, here we go. Yeah, cause... Oh, 2 dropped. Okay. 4 dropped due to scratches. Jeez. What's up, Ember? Derby party. You know what? This is our virtual Derby party, okay? We're gonna celebrate these horse games, and then we're gonna celebrate the Kentucky Derby, and it's gonna be fantastic. Bless. Here, really fast. Where is this tab? That's where this tab is. I'm gonna put this tab over there so I can actually see what the hell I'm doing. But here you go. Here is the dress. Just take a second to stare at the dress because I'm very proud of the dress. I think it came out really nice. I will show off the full thing in a later stream, probably, question mark. There's also a couple little things that I have to fix on it because, again, I was working on things up till 5 minutes before the stream. It's through the power of miracles and hard work that you guys get to see a cool dress. But anyways, okay, back to my pedestal. You've got over character design. Bless y'all. If you talk about character design, you also have to talk about the other half of the coin, or side of the coin, which is character personality. Okay, I have to open up my script again because I had the Derby open. A lot of games have really good characters. Some don't have any characters, but we're not here for those right now. Don't worry about this. For the ones that we're here for right now, they're the ones with characters that have really strong personalities that make you love them or hate them. You remember them is like the point, though. Like they're super unique and likable, even if you wouldn't hang out with them, or even ones that like you cannot stand them, like you hate that fucker, but like, oh hey, look at that, you know, you remembered them and you love them for being so awful. Like there are some great characters in these games. Like some of these have really memorable characters. But before I get in the nominees, I have to address the horse in the room. You might know what I'm about to talk to about this because we're talking about characters. We have to talk about the horse in the room. If you watch the horse streams, you have seen the crash outs. I am using my inside voice today for this. But Alex from Equinox Homecoming, girl, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? Prions, dude, prions, seriously. Like, if you ever in your life see some kind of like carcass in the woods, especially something eating the carcass and you think it has a disease, for the love of all that is holy, if I can impart any wisdom upon you in the 5 years I have been streaming on these platforms, please never, ever, ever touch a carcass you see in the woods. Never do it, especially if you have no gloves on and you put it on your horse. Your horse that is a mammal that can get mammalian diseases, and you think it's rabies, and you pick it up anyways. It's like, why would you pick it up? Why, if you think it has rabies, why would you pick it up? If you're forgetting prions for a second, which is the more logical thing to be stressed out, why? If you think it has rabies is by saliva and fluids. You're picking up a fluid, basically. Oh my god. That's still... Also, dear omnivorous, that stupid park ranger doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, I'm calming down. I'm gonna sip my water. I'm gonna sip my water. I had sipped my water. Okay, listen, okay. I still think about that. I went to like a full-on like festival with a friend, and I like unloaded my stress about prions to her, okay? Like I feel very strongly about the prions. But I had to address the horse in the room with that one. Because seriously, why? Oh my god, why? Why? But anyways, nominees! For Best Character Personality, we have Uma Musume, Ranchy Rivershine, Equinox Homecoming despite the prions, and Unicorn Tales. Is it going to be the game all about the characters? The game with the vet I loved? The game with prions? Or the game where the 15-year-old had voices in his head? All four have very memorable characters for different reasons, but only one has the best characters. And I feel like you guys have some solid guesses here. Thanks, YouTube break clip. All right, getting your guesses in. My Little Pony is nominated for things. Not this category, but you will see it make an appearance. Every game has, like, at least a horse in the race. I spent too long working on this. I am legally allowed to make as many horse in the race jokes as I want. Out of horse jokes. Oh no. Crash out horse. Crash out homecoming. Well, I 100% see why Crash Out Homecoming would be a strong contender. The winner for best character personality is to the other obvious guess, which is Uma Musume. Because this game's entire draw is characters. And you are correct. It is a little too obvious. I put some of the obvious ones up front. These get less obvious as we go down, I promise you. In a game where the entire draw is that you like the characters, it has to be that has to be the winner for best characters. I did not mean for these to be back-to-back winners. That is just kind of how it ended up being. Tachyon, listen. I still have feelings about Tachyon, but we could talk about Matakata Fukutaru all day long. Love her. I think that was the last of the obvious ones. Let me scroll down to my next thing. Okay. Okay, you guys are gonna love this one, actually. Yeah, here, let me... Okay. I'm gonna set up the one after, because next up, we have another guest presenter for this next category, and it's one whom I think a lot of you would love to hear speak again. He does not get to make appearances often. I think he's appeared on my channel once so far. Okay, let me actually select this before I forget. While I make you guess. How did I forget that in the 2 seconds? I have one brain cell, guys. I'm not qualified. Okay, here we go. I'm qualified to produce. I'm just not qualified to be presenting things. Okay. This goes to this. Okay. Okay, now that that's done. Not Shoji. Although, hilariously accurate guess. The presenter of the unique category. Tell you who it is. You are correct. He makes an appearance once in a blue moon. He is my mythical husband that does not have a channel I could promote. It is Tech Demon, here to present the most unique game. Alright, here we go.
Unique horse game, as my horse girl wife would. She's watching me record this, by the way. The nominees for the most unique horse game is Uma Musume, Pocket Stables, Equinox Homecoming, and Unicorn Tales. And the winner is Pocket Stables. I've heard of none of these.
Hi, Plum. Bless. Okay. I asked him if he would present something, and I knew full well he was not going to know any of these games because he plays, like, not horse games. I wasn't ready for him to, in full view of me, throw strays at me. Yeah, Tech Demon is like IT. He is not an obnoxious streamer like I am. He is still a very good sport who decided to present. You guys will get to hear some Plum voice later, I promise. But if you read the description, I feel like you have a decent idea of what's going to happen. But it's still fun anyways. Just had a podcast. He's a very good behind-the-scenes man. And I literally just plopped him down on my computer. It just stared at him, so he decided to make fun of me. Thank you, Tech Demon. I love you. But to give a bit of a follow-up to that, Pocket Stables is absolutely the most unique. I think I described it like Clash of Clans, Stardew Valley, and Uma Musume had a love child, and I still stand by that description. Isometric pixel farm builder, where you're trying to make a freaking kick-ass ranch and have a horse win the Triple Crown. It is all in a very cute Harvest Moon pixel art kind of style, and I just think it's fantastic. If you want to play a horse game that is probably not what you're fully expecting, that is one of the games I would say is up there for, I didn't think that was going to be a thing. It was also extremely addictive. It gets a side award for extremely addictive. And that brings us into relaxing. I've been properly sassed, now it's time to relax. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you want to play the high-octane racing simulator, but sometimes you just want to chill out and smell the roses, or the horses. I don't know, your call. I don't think I would smell some horses. I don't know. Some horses actually have pretty good smells, now that I think about it. Like, some horses, like, it's like dogs, you know? Sometimes you smell a dog, it's like just been given a bath, and it's like, oh yes, you smell like lavender and fluff. And sometimes you you sniff a dog, and it has Frito feet, and it was rolling in some things that I probably shouldn't mention. Like, I feel like horses can have a variety of smells. I would go sniff a horse at this moment, but I have a show to present, so I can't quite do that at this exact moment, but some weird people out there. Listen, if the horse has a weird enough smell, if it has a good enough smell, I will be the horse smeller, okay? I'm not afraid to sniff a horse. I'm not afraid of this. I'll do it. I could be the horse sniffer. But anyways, all these games have really relaxing elements to them and can be played if you just want to chill and have a nice vibe, unwind, just have some nice chill horse time. Same as before, 4 nominees. You could chill out with all of them. Nay or yay. That's beautiful. I should have made a list of puns to make for this. A lot of production went into, like, the curtain you see behind me, the podium you see in front of me. Obviously, I did the dress. All of the graphics and lower, like, every graphic element you see, bar, like, the actual official screenshots, I made by hand. I do not recommend putting that much effort into something. It is terrible. I have spent the past month, like, glued to my Adobe products. I'm not a horse girl, would also sniff a horse. Listen, just for one day you could call me a horse girl. One day. This is the day. In the name of our Lord and Savior, the Kentucky Derby, and the Neighpril Awards, today is the day that you could call me a horse girl. The horse sniffer. I don't know. Raise your hand if you've ever sniffed a horse. Come on, raise your hand if you sniffed a horse. I'll sip some water. I'll wait. I cannot be the only person who would sniff a horse. Okay. It is really, really warm in this room. Okay, so let me make sure I have the correct ones. I did. Because I set these up beforehand like a smart person, and then I ended all the work in it by stopping. Not me. It's like a specific flower from my childhood. I use lavender shampoo, if that helps at all. I like the lavender. I'm not telling you what kind, because people keep buying it too often, and I kind of need some for myself, but that is the like canon smell if you would like to have something in your brain. Anyways, bit by one. How does it feel to get bit by a horse? How does that feel? Were you horsing around? That probably wasn't really relaxing, was it? Oh, God. Anyways, nominees for relaxing! Fucking hurts. I'm not surprised. Sad to Horses, Ridge of River Shine, My Little Pony, A Maritime Bay Adventure, and Star Stable. All 4 of these games have the relaxing elements to them. Side of Horses obviously has the super relaxing trail rides. Ridge of Rivershine also had a good time, just, walking around. Definitely had a bit more of an upbeat feel. Maritime Bay, just a cute little platformer, nostalgia. Got to play with your favorite horse characters. Nothing super groundbreaking, but also still a good time. And then Star Stable, again, where you can just ride around to your heart's content. But out of all 4 of these, all fun games, all relaxing, which one was the most... I forgot what category I was presenting for 2 seconds. Which one of these is the most relaxing? The answer, I feel like, may be obvious. It's because they paid me $30 premium coins. I still don't know where the money came from. That makes me sound like a money launderer if you don't know the context. For reference, when I streamed Star Stable for Horse Month, I hadn't streamed it since 2022? 21, 22. I just never turned off my premium, I guess, because I logged on and I noticed that the premium currency, it was weird. It had, like, all the premium purchasable stuff was, like, weirdly cheap. And I was like, weird, is like a discount going on? No! There was $70 worth of Star Stable money just sitting in my account, untouched. I got to just pretend to be a billionaire, like one of those oil barons in games, because I just had that much money. I tricked out like 3 different horses. It was amazing. But no, I was not bribed this time, or at all, really. Because the winner of most relaxing, it's gotta be Sound of Horses, who I would unironically, and I am so serious when I say this, if I'm having an anxiety episode, I would actually open this game and just ride around. It has extremely chill trail rides. I love it to pieces. You could just listen to the birds and the nature, and nothing is like trying to murder you. 10 out of 10, fantastic. If you need to calm down, you need to play that. And like last time, I need to give another honor. Wait. Oh. Okay, so let me go back to my podium for this. I was gonna give another dishonorable mention for least relaxing game, not realizing I already put Equinox Homecoming in for character personality. So shout out to Equinox again, because although this time the least relaxing is also because it's a freaking horror game. Hey, we have a redeem for that on Twitch. Equinox, though, like, very good horror game. Like, there's some, like, certain points when you're, like, just in the thick of it that were so unrelaxing. It keeps you invested. Like, Equinox, dishonorable mention does not mean it is bad. It means that it is good for the wrong reasons. And also, yes, I crashed out of Prions. Anyways, we have another fantastic person to go ahead and introduce a segment for us. Who is also, I think, one of the most relaxing people I know. She has a very soothing voice. She has a talent for building Minecraft structures that I will never be able to have in my life. It is overall just a fantastic friend. Here to present the story category, we have the Deianira.
The story. For me, one of the most important parts of a game is the story, because it's the narrative that keeps everything chugging along smoothly, and it's what immerses us in the world so much that it makes us forget reality for a moment. Because of that, a good story helps us accept every weird new mechanic the game throws at us, and at the same time keeps us rooting for our heroes and heroines. Or should I say horses and lady horses? And sometimes it even feels like the story holds me hostage, making me finish just one more chapter and lose just one more night of sleep. But more importantly, it's also the thing that helps us understand the creator, their vision, their message, and it sometimes makes us feel a little less alone, more connected to the world, the characters, and maybe even to each other. Bold claims, I know, but I stand by it. Now then, with that in mind, Here are the nominees for Best Story: Uma Musume Pretty Derby, Equinox Homecoming, Sound of Horses, and Star Stable. And I just want to say thank you to all the games creators for pouring your hearts and souls into these games, and in doing so, enriching our lives and live streams. So, are you ready? Good, because the winner is Equinox Homecoming. Congratulations! Yay! And I hope you treasure this trophy that marks your success in the Epic Horse Month Awards. Or are we actually giving out trophies? Himi?
So, I will personally give a trophy PNG to any studio who decides they want one, but I feel like if I just randomly cold email the developers of these games trophy PNGs, they might be a little bit confused. Thank you so much, Devi. She is an absolute trooper. Fantastic friend. Love her to bits. I had a whole brain fart for a second. I had an absolute brain fart for a second. Did I close my spreadsheet? What's wrong with me? 1 second, let me reopen my spreadsheet. I think it's a virus. Also, yes, we are going over my entire spreadsheet. But for best story, to get back on track. Also, you missed me having a complete coughing fit drinking water during that. But out of all the games, Equinox Homecoming had the most unique and the most interesting story, I would say. Because how else do you describe the horse horror game when where you're investigating your mother's death and a murder at the same time? Although, is your mom dead? I don't remember. I don't think we ever found out. Your mom's disappearance and somebody else's murder at the same time. As some really interesting characters that are memorable enough that I crash out upon thought. Get some good rest, Plum. Thank you for coming. Thank you for doing stuff too. Plum has been so helpful with this, okay? We all love Plum. Plum is fantastic. All of my friends are so nice. Winner of the Neighpril Awards, the description of the game. Me fantastic, honestly. Never came home. Dairy crash out. I think it is the longest crash out I've had in any circumstance of my life ever. And I've had some very serious crash outs in my life. I just cannot get over the prions, okay? The prions, I cannot get over the prions. That was actually so infuriating. But it is a great story. It has a really good story. The plot is fascinating, and the actual interactions throughout are also just very funny or memorable or interesting. That is a story that does not really have a slow point. And that is why Equinox Homecoming won Best Story. Yeah, I don't know why I closed that, especially because it has my list of the order I'm going in. Now, speaking of questions, which I think was actually a thing at one point that I was talking about, but speaking of questions, we are now halfway through our evening. We've gotten through a lot of really good horse games and good awards. Thank you so much to everybody who has come by so far and for watching, and I hope you keep watching, because we still have the big ones, who has best graphics. The answer may not be what you expect. Who won best game? And of course, who won the fan vote? The one that you guys voted to win. There's still a lot of fun awards, so you have to keep sticking around and watching. I legally demand it. But before that, it is now halftime, which means we have a very special interview now with the developers of one of our Horse Month games. They are Vanilla Sky Productions. They are the developers of Sound of Horses, and they were absolutely kind and granted me an interview. I was doing so well with that, too. I was doing absolutely so well with that. Lightning fast! It's been almost an hour! It's been almost an hour! Some of these go really long, too. But, I was doing really good with the introduction, and then I lost my ability to speak the human language. Anyways, they developed Sound of Horses, to repeat myself a little bit and backtrack, but they have one relaxing in sound effects so far. They're really good at what they do, and I highly recommend this game. They granted me a written interview, so I will be reading out the questions, and I got the fantastic Plum Pickled, who just went to bed, but she read out the answers for me. I have a nice little thing here for you to watch. And once we are done with that, we will continue the... I had a whole thought, and I just like lost it like a... I lost it like a horse in the trail, but... Here's a very cool interview. They gave me a lot of really cool behind-the-scenes information. They gave me a lot of really cool insight into the development and writing processes. And overall, it's just really cool to hear what the developers of one of our cool horse games has to say. So, before I lose my train of thought again, let me find it. Here we go. Everyone, give it up for the interview with Vanilla Sky Productions. Of Sound of Horses for agreeing to my interview and answering all of my questions so wonderfully. I will be reading out the questions, and I have the lovely Plum Pickled here to read out the answers. Thank you so much again, and let's get into it. Now, the story of Vanilla Sky Productions. Sound of Horses started as a fun project, but what led to a full release on Steam and Android?
It began as a small project that Lola took the initiative to start, driven by a longing to why we began making games in the first place. After many years in the game industry, working on large projects and fast-paced productions, we felt that something was missing. We wanted to create a game that doesn't rush the player or demand constant attention, but instead leaves space for stillness, presence, and emotion. A game where the relationship between human, horse, and nature is at the centre. Horses have been a part of our lives for a long time, both professionally and personally. For us, they're not just a theme, but carriers of something deeper: sensitivity, respect, and trust. It felt natural to build a game around that bond. Sounds of Horses was born from the desire to create something softer and more human. An adventure where small moments are allowed to exist, and where the player is not constantly being pushed forward. We wanted to create a game you can breathe in. At its core, the game is about listening, not only to the sound of hooves against the ground, but to your own intuition. That is where it all began. What started as a small and personal project gradually grew into something larger. The decision to release the game was not a single moment, but a gradual realization that the world we were building deserved to be completed and shared.
Now, the story. The minds in the town felt very clear and engaging. Do you have a specific writing process, and how did that story come to life?
Our writing process is partly organic, but we also had an overall story outline from the beginning, spanning across the full journey of the game. Without going into detail, we had an early sense of the direction for how the world and narrative would develop over time. From that foundation, the story grows together with the world, characters, and atmosphere. We often start with a feeling or a situation, and from there, relationships, history, and small details take shape and build into a larger whole.
Now, the inspiration. There's clearly a lot of love and technical knowledge behind this game. Is there anything specific that inspired that creative direction?
The inspiration comes from many different places, but mainly from a shared desire to create something calm and meaningful. We were inspired by nature, storytelling, and experiences that allow space for reflection. Rather than focusing on constant action, we wanted to create a world that feels alive in a softer way. Technically, the game is built on our own engine, which Anders has developed and refined over many years. The original technology also forms the foundation of Star Stable Online, but has since further evolved and adapted for Sounds of Horses. The current engine is a result of long-term experience and continuous refinement. Music is also a central part of that experience. All music in the game is written and designed specifically for each scene and situation. Anders has a background in music from his time as a keyboardist in his youth to many years as a songwriter and bassist in bands. This has influenced how rhythm, emotion, and sound are used to support the atmosphere of the game.
Who do I need to thank for the amazing walking and riding experiences? The atmosphere is super relaxing, and the trail rides were super standout in this game.
Thank you, that truly means a lot to hear. The feeling of movement and atmosphere is something we developed together. The combination of visual experience, pacing, sound, and subtle animation is what creates that calm and immersive experience. We wanted riding to feel less control and more like a connection. Something that you can relax into rather than optimize.
Were there any challenges or obstacles during the development?
The biggest challenge was time. We were a team of 2 people, and the world in the game is quite extensive. Building something of this scale required a lot of prioritization and patience, especially since much of the work was done alongside other commitments. There were also periods where the project demanded a lot of time and energy. At the same time, that level of dedication is what allowed the game to take shape.
And finally, do you have any plans for what comes next that you want to share?
Sounds of Horses is a long-term project, and we see this as just the beginning. Right now, our focus is on continuing the polish and refine episode 1, while gradually beginning work on the next part of the story. If everything goes according to plan, we aim to release the next episode around midsummer, followed by episode 3 and 4 by the end of the year. We want the world to grow step by step, and in a way that stays true to the original feeling of the game. Thank you very much for your thoughtful questions and for taking the time to explore Sounds of Horses. It truly means a lot to see players connect with both the world and the experience.
One more huge thank you to developers of Sound of Horses, Vanilla Sky Productions. They are both wonderful people. It has been an absolute pleasure, and you should go play Sound of Horses because it is really good. I forgot to turn my mic back on. Thank you again to the developers of Sound of Horses, Vanilla Sky Production. They took some time out of their day to do that, and they gave some really thoughtful answers that were super interesting to just read and understand. The fact that Star Stable Online has like a foundation, I had a whole thought. The fact that let me rewind 2 words. Okay, the fact that what was originally started as a foundation for Star Stable Online is now like the foundation of this game and is being further evolved makes me really excited to see where this is going in the future. I already really loved the game so far, and the fact that it's still so early into its early access is really exciting. The developers were super kind, and I can't thank them enough for just letting me actually get to interview them. So thank you one more time. If you want to check it out, they are in the description. They are on Steam and on Android. So if you prefer one or the other, you have both options. A little of informational lower thirds throughout too, as like mentioned as well. Like 9 different languages in the Steam early access. So if you speak a different language and you prefer that one, go see if yours is there. I couldn't fit them on the lower third. But thank you so much again. You see, where am I? Okay, I'm here. I'm trying to, here we go. Not murder my computer. That is the goal today. And the winner is this one. How do I spell? It's up here. Okay. Okay. Now that we have gotten to see the super cool interview that they were very kind and granted us, it is time to get back to the awards. Because we are now through to halftime. It is now time for the last of the awards. I think we have 8 more to go. We got the big ones coming up. Who's the most fun? Who has the best graphics? Who is the fan favorite? And who is the best game? Oh, don't worry, there's always VOD. There is always VOD. You are still here to see the last 8 of the categories. You still made it. But who won these huge categories? We're gonna find out. But first, customization. How much do you want in your game? Do you prefer games that give you like a few outfits, just to kind of have a little bit of a feeling of control before you start playing it? Or do you want to spend 3 hours in the character creator? I am the second person. I don't know about you. I am the second person in this situation. But how about designing your own farm? Maybe that, or design yourself. Maybe you really like having your own character creator versus designing your horse. There's a lot of options. With lots of options. Only 3. I'm trying to think about I think Horsey Game is a good example of design not having that much. But I guess in the end, like, the customization isn't you breeding, you know, atrocities of God. So I guess it evens out. Some games have a lot less customization than others. Like when my options have options. It's always good when your options have options. I want options for my options as options. Lot of options to be had there. But all 4 of these games are really standout with their customization options. This is one of the closest categories to score. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like, I have a whole spreadsheet, and yes, I will sit down and make everybody look at my spreadsheet at some point in the future because I spent a lot of time on it. There's 9 tabs, but I actually did go through my scores, and I was questioning myself. It was like the meme, like the guy with his head and his hand on the table, and he had like the drinks next to him, and he was like questioning his life. That was me trying to score some of these categories, and customization was one of those categories, okay? It was really, really hard to decide the winner for this. So even just getting the nominees was kind of a struggle. But I like to think that the 4 nominees for this category are still, like, they do it amazingly well. They very much deserve to be here, but only one of them can win. So who's fighting for this who's fighting for this in the first place? Who's got the horse in the race? Somebody should make a counter for that, because I'm gonna be making that joke like all evening. The nominees! We have Pocket Stables, Equinox Homecoming, Rival Stars Horse Racing, and Star Stable. All 4 of these have really strong customization, from Pocket Stables, where the game is customizing, Equinox Homecoming, where the customization is insanely detailed for your character, to Rival Stars Horse Racing, where your horse's customization is just nuttily detailed, and then Star Stable, where I spent 3 hours because of all the clothes. There are plenty of options with these options. They are all just so good at customization. Like, any one of these in their own right is something that you can have a good customization experience in. Trust me, this was a very hard category to pick a winner for. I assure you, I fought. This was an emotional, this was emotional turmoil. That's what this was. But anyways, out of the 4 games here, I don't know if there's any that you think stands out as the best customization. I will give you a few seconds to contemplate your choices. Because let me tell you, all of these, the options do have options. And I want to say this also did have a... Okay. There is an honorable mention after we announce the winner. But for now, who is the winner of Best Customization? I think the winner might be a little I don't know, it might be a little... I can't even say obvious because this is so close. Like, this, like, all of these could be, like, the winner. But anyways, I'm... like, Star would be our star. Star Stable was, like, it was so strong. They were all strong. They were all strong. Oh, man, Star Stable. I'm seeing some Star Stables. Well, I hate to say it, the winner does have a stable, but it's Pocket Stables. Because this game's entire purpose was customization. In a game where you are literally fighting just to keep decorating your farm and optimizing it, and then breeding horses on top of it to get cool custom horses. I just felt like this game was the epitome of customization. I also want to give this a side award for most addictive, because this is the one that I sat down and I just could not put down for the life of me. Like, I could sit here and play this game for like 12 hours and not realize it. That was this game. This game is like succubus. It will draw you in, and then you'll go, what happened? Why is it Tuesday? I missed work. But congratulations to Pocket Stables. The horse is even have my name in it. See? It's just got that much. There's just so much to do, so much to see in the Pocket Stables. Congratulations to Pocket Stables for having, by far, the most customization. And being very addictive overall. Just fantastic game. We go back to my fancy podium now. Because we have another fun friend to introduce. And actually, I'm gonna do... I just reset Google Docs. No, my script. Oh no, my script. Okay. Okay, here we go. This is the nominees. Because next up, we have a friend presenting. I'm just preparing for the one after friend because I'm trying to be good at what I do. I'm trying to be so good at what I do. Okay. Okay, there we go. Anyway, so. I should play on your phone anywhere. You can, that's the problem. I keep thinking about downloading Pocket Stables on my phone, and then I realize like I will never get anything done again. The reason I got stuff done on this is that I put down Solitaire to get this award show done. You know how big of a deal that is for me? Guys, I put down Solitaire. You know how much Solitaire I play? It makes me sound like really depressing, but I just really love Solitaire. Pocket Stables in your pocket. Dude, just imagine if you have one of those jobs where you're waiting around a lot, like, just imagine playing Pocket Stables. Fantastic. But anyways, for the next category, let me go ahead and get that queued up. Where did it go? Okay. Very important one of the obvious ones. If you are thinking about a good horse game, only some of the horse games qualified for this because it may seem like an obvious category, but it's really not. A lot of games did not go this route. But when you think about a horse game, one of the first mechanics you might think of is the horse races. And that is what we are discussing today. But I'm not going to be talking about the horse races. At least not that much. Because the one who is introducing horse races is a member of Rock Game, a shiny Pokemon expert, Umamusume enjoyer, and just a very cool dragon overall. Orin Nogard is here to pronounce, yes, he's here to pronounce the word races and be done with it. He is here to announce the races. Orin, I'm sorry. Okay, here we go.
Everybody, this is Orin Nogard, and I have been asked to present the winner for Best Races for Horse Month. Your nominees are Umamusume, Pocket Stables, Horsey Game, and Rival Stars Horse Racing. I am not as familiar with these as I should be, but I'm just the presenter, not the player or voter. And your winner for Best Racing, or races in general, is Rival Stars Horse Racing! Yay! Good job.
When the wedding starts. Guys, don't marry your horses. That might be illegal. Thank you, Orin, for announcing the winner. Not pronouncing. Although I guess he did pronounce the word races. I think that was another one where the answer might have been obvious. Rival Stars, the fact that you got to be the jockey was absolutely sick. And I don't know what to tell you, dude. That was so fun. That was so fun. It really took racing and just like elevated the crap out of it. I expect nothing less from a game that's called Rival Stars Horse Racing. So I can't say I'm shocked that one. Is anybody shocked? I'm not shocked, at least. But shout out to Rival Stars Horse Racing for being the game I knew the least about going in, but ended up making one of the biggest impacts. Fantastic game. If you want to be a jockey, that is the game where you get to be a jockey. Fantastic. And to continue on with that train of thought, actually, we think about races and we think about horse games, but let's go to the chiller side of that, like, spectrum there. We could race the horses, but we also go on trail rides. We're done with the fast horses. Now it's the cross-country horses. These horses probably got a letter in high school, but they did not jump over pole vaults or something. I don't know how track works. I was a cross-country kid. But these are good for different reasons, you know? Like, what had the best trail rides? Like, when you ride your horse around and explore. Like, what has the best map? What just gave you the best overall feeling? It's like a really satisfying mechanics for riding your horse. Like, all of these games that I'm about to announce, like, they all have really good trail rides, and I will keep saying it. Like, I recommend all of these games. And sometimes you need a good trail ride, you know? Maybe sometimes you don't want to be the jockey. I mean, I guess you're still a jockey. But you're not a fast jockey. You're a nature jockey. On that note, let's look at our nominees for the category of trail rides in our nature jockeying. Sound of Horses, Rival Stars Horse Racing, Star Stable, and Ranch of Rivershine. All 4 of these did have very good trail rides. Like, I would not say that any of these had bad trail rides. Like, they are the top 4 for a reason. If you want to have a fun trail ride, all 4 of these games are good for that. Rival Stars obviously had the cross-country version that we did not explore too much, but was still very good. Sound of Horses, freaking top-tier horse riding, and the ambience in the forests was just fantastic. Star Stable, which it has the years advantage, where you have a ton to explore, and you just get to look fabulous while doing it. And Ranch of Rivershine, which had very cozy, fun graphics. You still, just got to explore with your horse. All 4 of these games had good trail rides, but I think the answer for this is obvious about who I thought had the best trail rides. The winner for best trail rides, Sound of Horses. Yep, I got a bot. It's what I meant. It's a hello bot. Go away. This is okay, I take it back. I think this is the last of the obvious awards, because I do think the trail rides in this were very satisfying to play, and the ambience in the forest made it just so good. Like, if you just need to relax, I'll say it one more time, this is the game you play if you just want to relax and have a really interesting story, too. But let me go back to my podium now. I have to just give Seto Horses credit for just how good the trail rides are. Huge map to explore. The fact that it's early access is wild. But anyways, we've thought about the trail rides, thought about the races. Let's think about the experience of the horse for a second. Like, if you are thinking about, man, what goes into the experience of the horse? Like, what mechanics behind this go into that? What do they need? Like, who wins the race in best horse mechanisms? Like, how do these things function? I don't have answers for all of those, but the one who probably does have the answers, we are bringing in Blackemrald, retro game expert, super awesome mod, fantastic friend, way better at Pokemon than I am, and now government-assigned certified horse mechanics guy.
Many parts of a game that could make or very possibly break your gaming experience. Like, a game could have, the most amazing graphics and the most amazing story, but if the gameplay mechanics are hot garbage, you're a little less likely to come back to that game. Whereas, a game could look like it was made in MS Paint, but if it's got, good mechanics, hey, you're a little more likely to come back to it. Yeah, it doesn't look the greatest, but it plays great. Thankfully, though, these Neighpril nominations don't have to worry about that for their mechanics. And without further ado, the nominations for mechanics are Pocket Stables, Horsey Game, Rival Stars Horse Racing, and Unicorn Tales. And the winner for mechanics is Horsey Game. And honestly, I say that is justified.
Thank you so much for announcing that beautiful category. Very important. You are the certified expert, and you must use that power responsibly. Horsey Game had to get that. The sheer amount of mechanics in Horsey Game, like, I know there's like a million I didn't even get to touch on. Like, there's so much going on in Horsey Game. If that deserves any award this evening, it has to be mechanics. Like, let's be real. Let's be so real. Thank you so much for presenting that. Every friend who has presented this evening, like, I really appreciate the crap out of them. They're very patient with my nonsense. And I also have to give a quick shout out to poor Tech Demon, who just came in asking if he had been on yet. Hi, Tech Demon. I'm sorry you were on already. But everyone has been so fantastic. The fact that I had a group project with 7 different things, from like 7 different people, and everybody got in on time is insane. Can we just talk about that? Like, this is a blessed award show. I have the most amazing group of people ever, and I will keep shilling them aggressively. And again, YouTube description. You should go look at all the friends when this is done, because they're all fantastic and hilarious, and you get to see their bits of like their senses of humor in this. I just went like a full motor mouth there. That was like a lot. Anyways. We are getting down to the big categories. We have the big four left. We have graphics, fun, the fan vote, and best game. Woo! Let me make sure I actually have the correct things up. I want this perfectly acceptable. Thank you, horse mechanic expert. You are appreciated. Okay, here we go. This. And then who won this again? Oh, duh. Don't mind me forgetting who won things sometimes. Anyways, okay. Here we go. Done. Sick. Fantastic. Anyways. It's time to get to the big categories. The big four. The ones everybody is thinking about when they see a Game Awards show. Who has the best graphics? Which is the most fun? Who is the fan favorite that we voted for with our blood, sweat, and horsey tears? And who is the best game? You will get an answer to all four of these. A lot of thought went into all of these, except for the fan vote. That was all you guys, but like... a lot of thought went into the three that I put together. These games are all so special in their own right. They are all worth playing. This is a real battle of the fine, gritty details about who is the best. And to start this bloodbath, we're going to best graphics. It's pretty self-explanatory, really. Like, who looks the best? Who looks the best in the best graphics? I know it's an absolute shock. Just absolutely insane. But... Anyways, now that we're thinking about that, let's go ahead and look at our nominees for best graphics. Starting off the nominees, we have Rival Stars Horse Racing, Uma Musume Pretty Derby, Equinox Homecoming, and Pocket Stables. All four of these have, I would say, wildly different graphics, and they all have good graphics for different reasons. They are all very memorable with what they look like. Pocket Stables with this cute little well-polished pixel art. Uma Musume for its just Uma Musume-ness with the anime style that they have pulled off so well. Fantastic character designs. We have Rival Stars with really realistic horses and blending of horse patterns. And just the first person view was so unique. And then Equinox Homecoming, which had the most detailed character anything I've ever seen. And the cutscenes were just jaw-dropping, absolutely gorgeous. And all of the gore scenes were also really well rendered. This is a very tough one. Like, I'm so serious, like, I did sit there, and I just kind of sat there, like, head in hand, like, man, who am I supposed to pick for this? Like, the night I finished the last Horse Month stream, I did sit there for, like, an extra 2 hours, like, doing the final, like, comparisons, because I scored them as I went. And just looking through some of these categories, like, there was some ties with the numbers. I was like, how am I supposed to pick a winner? How am I supposed to do this? But there has to be a winner. There has to be a winner. It's the Neighpril Awards. This is a bloodbath, damn it. This is a bloodbath for the best horse game. Very important. Best horse smoothie. You might see a horse smoothie in Equinox Homecoming, to be fair. I haven't finished it all the way through yet, but I feel like that would be a good one to have for a horse smoothie. But out of all four of these, which has the best graphics? You've seen the nominees. I'm sure you've made your internal guesses. Let's see the winner for best graphics. And it goes to Equinox Homecoming. This one won because it has the most cinematic looking cutscenes I have ever seen. They did a lot with the gore scenes as well, which did stand out strongly, and overall, just the most detailed in the graphics department by a mile. This game, one of its strongest points is the quality of graphics, and I cannot praise it enough for how well it pulled off so many things that it did. Congratulations to Equinox Homecoming for just having great graphics, even if your prions maybe crash out. Yes, I will keep bringing it up. That is the most notable part of that game for me. No wonder your mother disappeared, crush on me. I stand by it, okay? The stupid might be genetic, okay? The stupid might be genetic. Like, straight up, if she's stupid enough, after all those years of survival training from her fucking mother, to go, oh, I see this corpse that I think is rabies infested. I'm literally dropping rabies bait right now. but I think this deer might have rabies. Let me just pick up the corpse it was just licking like a lollipop and take it back with me on top of my bare horse. I want all of us to get rabies. Like, even if it's not prions, which is ultimately more terrifying, mind you. But like, if you thought it was rabies, what the fuck? Why would you do that? Why would you pick up that? No gloves, nothing. There was no tarp. There was nothing. She just fucking bare fists in a flannel and just slaps it in front of him. And he's like, oh yeah, thanks, bro. Didn't even ask if she wanted to wash her hands. Just said, thanks, bro, and moved on with his life. Like, are you serious? What the hell? I've never seen such idiotic behavior. And if she acts like that, her mother trained her. I'm sure her mother also has the same exact level of stupidity. I'm sure it's genetic because she didn't learn anything from her mom. How long has she been gone? I don't know. But I'm assuming that they have the same level of brain cell incompetence. I'm gonna sip some water. I get really passionate about prion disease. I can explain. Anyways. I don't know. My crash outs may be fun to you, but you know what else is really fun? Fun. You've already heard the voice of the next presenter, and to present the important category, I wrote this line, and then I wrote myself into a corner. Anyways, super fun voice. You've already heard her today. She's fantastic. The voice of the interview questions is now back to present fun. We have the illustrious Plum Pickled. She speaks Japanese, sometimes the British accent. She crashes out at Kirby. It makes videos none of us could ever dream of, even in the free for variety. No one else encapsulates fun just quite as good as she does. You gotta find her on YouTube, and she also does Twitch now as well. Both are in my description. You have to go look at Plum later. But anyways, she has some very fun facts, and she's very fun herself, and we love her. So here to present fun, I will stop saying that word over and over again. Here's Plum!
Thank you, Himi, for inviting me to present the award for fun. As this is fun, I thought I should do a couple of fun horse facts. 1, horses don't have nipples. So your Uma Musume girls? Yeah. My other fun fact is that Barbie Horse Adventure is great. No, maybe not. My other fun horse fact was in the 1800s, there was a horse called Patou with 8 O's. He was a racehorse, and it was heard that Bertie, the person who owned him, intended to call him Potato, and he asked the stable boy to write it, but then he wrote it with too many O's, so it was just Patou. Anyway, our nominees are Unicorn Tales, Pocket Stables, Uma Musume, Rival Star Horse Racing, and the winner of this prestigious and exquisite and adjective award is Rival Star Horse Racing. Me.
Thank you, Plum. I don't know if I think I forgot to mute my mic for a second, so if you just heard like the world's loudest wheeze, that was me. I can't help it. She's hilarious. She was like the obvious choice for most fun. How could you not pick her to do most fun? She is like the funnest person I know. We love her. Did not. Okay, thank God. Because I'm like, I don't know. I just breathe very aggressively. Plum has been so fantastic. Like, she's been listening to my horse ramblings nonstop for like the past month. And she voiced the interview answers as well as did a category because she is just that amazing and I love her. What's up? I could not appreciate her enough, and I'm very excited she's dual streaming on Twitch now because I know a lot of people really prefer Twitch, so gotta go stare at that. But anyways, most fun. Okay. I had to look at who was most fun again. I was really distracted by Plum existing. Anyways, so Rival Stars won most fun. Which, I have to say, out of all the games, that was the one that I was just straight up having the most fun. I don't know how to phrase that more, professionally. That was the most fun game by far. I did not have a single second where I was not just, laughing or just super into what I was doing. That was just a straight up fun time. Being the jockey was amazing. The characters, lovable. The actual, gameplay loop, really, really fun. Rival Stars Horse Racing just did it so well. Every game in that category was really fun, mind you. Rival Stars, I think, was, the purest of fun. 0 crash outs had. You are correct. Just pure, absolute, great vibes. So shout out to Rival Stars for being the most fun. Very coveted award. And shout out to Plum for presenting the most fun. Alright, guys. We have 2 left. Let me go ahead and select their thingies really fast. Okay. Again, I was gonna do this by individual source, but then I was crashing OBS, so I had to do this a cursed way. So there are 2 categories left. We have fan vote and best game. Now, best game is going last for obvious reasons, so let's get into fan vote. Out of all the games we played this month, 10 of them, everybody got at least 1 or 2 votes. I don't know how large you think my channel is, but I did not get hundreds of votes. But every game had at least one person who thought it was their favorite game. And I think that's very, very special. To be so serious for a second. Every single game we played this month, somebody loves. Somebody thinks it is very fun, it was one of their favorites, and I just think it is amazing that if I could have anything get taken away from this event, it is just that somebody thought they had a new game to pick up. And some of these were free, Star Stable free to play. I hope that you see any of these games and you think, man, I kind of want to play that because they're all great. They're all fantastic games. And I'm rambling at this point, but they're just really good. And I want to do more theme months in the future, I think. This was ridiculously fun. I don't know if I just become a horse streamer, but oh, Summer, please be safe. Please be safe. Be stable. I'm so sorry. That was a very bad taste joke. Please be safe. Let me know you're safe later. I forgot Star Stable is free. It is free. And a lot of these games are very affordable. Sound of Horses, $10. Come on, you know you want to pick it up. But anyways, Summer, be safe. Everybody give Summer some stay safe energy before we go into fan vote. I can't even tell you where the idea for Horse Month came from at this point. It is an absolute blur. The past month has just been chaos and horses. But oh god, I didn't think I had a whole train of thought and I lost it. Anyways, I'm gonna fan vote. I gave everybody ranked choice voting. Pick your first favorite, second favorite, and third favorite game out of the 10 horse games listed, and you all voted. So now, let us look at the nominees. Who were the top 4 games that you guys voted for? Our first nominee is Equinox Homecoming. Second is Horsey Game. Third is Ranch Rivershine. And fourth is Uma Musume. All 4 of these got a good number of votes. I promise you, this was not a washout by any means. It was very close. So all these are great choices. Honestly, I'm not surprised to see any of these games here. They all did a great job, and honestly, just good games. I don't have much I can say on this because I quite literally did not have any input in this. This was all you. You guys picked these 4, and you guys picked the winner. I don't know who you guys think won this. I will say I did not think the winner would win this. I don't know. I had a whole thing. One second. I'm being invaded.
Y'all should have set it to a 4-way tie
Why? Why do you...
to torture you.
Why? All I do is love and support you, and you feel the need to make them tie the poles. What have I done? Is it because I didn't do the dishes?
No.
I can't see your face right now, but I'm assuming it's a yes.
I just said no.
Oh no. Alright, now that I've been hassled, I thought it was gonna be a hey, what do you want for dinner? Which is actually still a valid question to be fair, but it was not. Do not listen to my husband. Stop tying things. This was not a tie, thankfully. It won. I think this won by like 1 or 2 votes. Let me see. Let me see. But the winner for realsies this time. There was no tie. Okay, I would have not have let this tied. I would have extended it if there was a tie. So help me. And that's also why I made this ranked choice, to reduce the chance of a tie. The winner for the fan favorite of Horse Month is Ranch of Rivershine. This had a lot of votes across every placement. It was almost a tie. Equinox was close in second place. But at the end of the day, everybody just really loved Ranch of Rivershine more than I expected. I promise we will keep playing Ranch of Rivershine. I promise you it is not being forgotten. It is not being taken out to the stables. Very good game. Lot of fun. Very pretty graphics. And at the end, it was your favorite. Had the pupper. That is so true. It had the dog. Oh, I forgot about the dog. I had notes. Okay, let me find my notes. Because I also... Okay, here we go, rankings. I had notes for every single game. I literally sat down. I scored everything numerically, and then I had notes. What was my notes for Ranch of Rivershine again? Let me see. Okay, here we go. My notes. Not much big joy in customization. Can't preview the horse items, which makes it hard to buy something. Trail rides were okay. Jumps were hard to do. Very pretty graphics. Characters had charm and fun designs. Overall, story was pretty good. Soundtrack was southern as fuck and a bop. It was okay with some fun options and a cute poop minigame, which is a wild sentence. It's not being put out to pasture. It is not. I forgot about the dog. How did I not write about the dog in my notes? What's wrong with me? But Unicorn Tales was also fantastic, okay? Unicorn Tales was amazing, and it was also a very good contender for most fun. I had way too much fun with Unicorn Tales. But now, let me cue it up. Here we go. We have one last category, guys. It is the best game. Or the old W Ranch of Rivershine. I'm honestly good for Ranch of... So many of these games I've never heard of. Ranch of Rivershine was one of them. I'd never heard of Ranch of Rivershine. I saw like amazing reviews for it, but I had never heard of it. And I'm very happy to have heard of it now because it was very, very fun. And now, make sure I didn't forget to say anything. Okay, I got everything I wanted to say out. I have an 11-page script of just vague notes to talk about because I can't read off a script too hard or you see me tongue-tie like I did for a lot of this. But it is now time for the best game. The one everybody's probably the most excited for. This has been a huge variety of games. It's been very exciting. I'm really excited to keep playing a ton of these games. I promise you this is not, this is the only game you should play. These all had strong areas they all stood out in. And like, this is not me saying only play this game. Play all of these games if you can. They're all amazing. I hope everyone's taken at least one new game out of this. To repeat myself a bit, we have murder mystery horror games to isometric pixel farm builders to being the jockey. There is something for everyone. If you want to spawn 2,000 hot dogs for the low price of running around in circles and picking up butterflies for an hour, you can do that in these games. Like, there is something for everyone. All of these games have been fantastic. It's so unique. Note that this is just the overall game experience. These are all scored in a rubric. This is literally just the highest average score. So do not take this as you have to play this one game, because this was just the numbers. The numbers spoke. But trust me, all these games are worth playing. Looking into Horsey game before in April. Now you have seen, you have perceived, you know it has the best mechanics, and you now have absolute bias as the presenter of best mechanics. Now you have to. I have government assigned you this game. But anyways, I will show off my super cool spreadsheet to you at some point because I'm very proud of it. I worked really hard on it. And also my 12 pages of notes. And while I'm thinking about it, actually, here, really fast. Okay, projects. Let me see the properties. To make this award show happen, I have one big folder where I put everything. Just a singular folder where I put all of the project assets and the project files and everything that I made. Do you want to take a quick guess, really fast, how large this folder is? I'm going to let you take that guess while I take a screenshot of it. How large do you think the Neighpril Awards folder is? Save as. Here we go. And let me do this. I'm seeing some guesses. I am seeing some guesses. Here we go. Copy image link. The answer may or may not shock you. That is the wrong thing. I want this thing. Here we go. Browser source. Yes. Okay. Browser 3. Very unique. Okay. 7 gigs. 10 gigs. Good guesses. You have guesses on all like sides of the gamuts there. But in the end, the answer is 55.9 gigabytes. Okay, I can explain. What do you mean? So, as I mentioned, every graphic you've seen was made by me. The lower thirds, which are, I never lower thirded myself. I made one for myself too. Here, I'm putting it now. Here you go. Hello, hi, I'm HimiChannel. Look at that. I have a cool lower third. I made one of those for every presenter. I made like 6 for the Vanilla Sky interview. I did all of the editing for all my friends' green screens. I edited the interview itself. I used B-roll from a stream. I made this outfit. Something I didn't get used because it was bugging out and I didn't have enough time to figure out why, was I actually made stingers for every category. Ended up not using it because I'll show them off at some point, or who knows, maybe I'll like trim this down and make like a condensed version and use them there, but they exist. The stingers I made by hand, like everything got made by hand. The script was 11 pages long. And that's not even like a full-on script, it's just me writing down talking points, so I remember what to say. To rewatch the whole thing, bless. So it has been a ton of fun to work on, though, to be fair. Like, I cannot say I regret a thing. Even if, like, nobody showed up, this was so much fun to work on. Like, a lot of the skills that I used for this, I picked up from work. I think I mentioned I work in media now. A lot of what I did for this stream is stuff that I've learned to do over the past year. And it's been fantastic. And I'm excited that I get to actually, like, use what I've learned of it. I have a lot of things that if I had given myself more time, I would have done better. See previously mentioned stingers that I didn't get to use. I want to do like a post-mortem of everything that I did for this at some point because I think it'd be a really interesting stream. Maybe that could be the YouTube video. I don't know. But so much has gone into this. And it's been a lot of fun and I've learned a lot. I learned a lot about different bugs After Effects has because let me tell you, After Effects has a lot of bugs. But thank you so much again for watching because There's so much that went into this, dude. And I'm happy that I hope everybody's been having fun. But it is time for the most, I don't want to say it's the most important, but the most anticipated category. Who won Best Game? Who was the overall winner? Who is the winner? Let's look at our 4 nominees. Who are the highest scorers on the spreadsheet? Who is here for the bloodbath? Starting off, we have Uma Musume, followed by Equinox Homecoming, Pocket Stables, and finally, last but not least, it is Rival Stars Horse Racing. All 4 of these games are fantastic. You have seen them in multiple places tonight. None of these should be a surprise to be a nominee because they are all just very good at what they do. Uma Musume, the most strong character-driven game you have seen in all of these. The entire point of it is to get emotionally attached to these girls, and they do that so well. Equinox Homecoming, which has the most unique freaking story I've ever seen for a horse game that just completely subverted expectations. Really good freaking horror elements, really interesting story. We have Pocket Stables, the most unique game overall. Yeah, it actually won unique. Really cute pixel art, really good gameplay loop that just, you are literally building your own ranch and you could just do it in so many different ways. Really addictive. And then Rival Stars, which had the best gameplay loop and the most interesting races by a mile. Like, you got to be the jockey. It was just pure fun all the way around. Like, all 4 of these games did amazing. Want to do a Twitch prediction? You know what? Sure, let's do a Twitch prediction. Let me go back to my actual stream manager. Okay, here we go, stream manager. Somebody remind me later to actually, like, put my thing back. Okay, prediction, here we go. I know the answer already. Who wins Best Game? Okay. Can I do multiple? Okay, I can. I just have to... Okay, so... Can I do multiple? I can. Okay. I have to type. And... Okay. I'm almost done typing, I swear. Okay. You guys have 2 minutes to predict. Woo! You could do 4. I know, I thought it was 2 as well. I'm not gonna lie, I learned a lot about Twitch today. There we go. It's so great, so hard. It was, okay, like, at least for this one, it was up to math. Fan vote wasn't up to me at all. Fan vote was just what you guys thought. Like, Best Game was just math, okay? Like, it was entirely just looking at my spreadsheet, averaging out the numbers, who was the best. Because, I don't know, some of these, like, again, like, they're so good in, like, specific categories that make them so worth playing, even if they're not, like, the best overall. I will go ahead and let you make your predictions. Alright, gamblers. Who is it? Oh, I've seen some bets already. We're not supposed to bet big. You can bet whatever your heart desires. I believe in you. If you feel strongly for one of these horse games, like, if you voted for it in the fan favorite, if you just think it's a good game, if you think everybody else is going to vote for it, or if you just think it has, like, a lot of really high scoring categories in my list, vote for whatever your heart desires. Because you have about 1 minute left to make your prediction. Let me sip some water while you make your choices. Again, these are all just such good games. Such good games. YouTube gang, I don't know how many people here are YouTube gang, but if you are YouTube gang, make your guess anyways. But in my whole stable real quick. I'm seeing the predictions go up. I am watching them in real time. Definitely interesting to see what everybody's thoughts were. I don't know, some of the ones that I did not think people would guess for a category did get guessed for categories, which I think was super cool. And also why a lot of these are usually decided by fan vote and not by one dingus who played them all in a month. I hope you guys can at least somewhat agree with my opinions. Cool, 300 up. Sick. Oh no, is it ads? How do I stop ads? Ah. How do I turn... Oh, that's pre-roll. How do I stop ads? Oh, 60 seconds ad. Just random. Okay. We will wait for Twitch. We will wait for you, Twitch gang. Tell me when ads done. Short message from our sponsors. I could not have played that if I tried, I swear to God. That's actually hilarious. I swear to God, that was not planned. I don't know how that happened. I actually do not know how that happened. Okay. Okay, let me see the predictions. Okay, predictions are all in. We've got our predictions. The stream is brought to you by Brimtone. Brimtone worked very hard. And by that I mean, I put way too much effort into this, and Shoji let me use some of his old music. All right. Now that we're all back in the room, the message from our sponsors that vary depending on which ad you got on Twitch is over. It is time for the winner of Best Game. And the winner is... Equinox Homecoming! For having a really interesting story, fantastic graphics, and having the highest average score on my spreadsheet. I would like to congratulate them, the developers. I would like to congratulate them, and also the people who just won a bunch of money off the predictions. I'm really curious about who won how much money off of that, but... This had overall the most solid experience of all of the games. I really, really recommend picking this up. And I want to give a thank you again to Plum, who was the one who, in the middle of Horse Month, said, Himi, you need to play this. So I put it in the rotation, and it was worth it. My points, oh no. Okay, who do we got here? Oh man, 5K points went to Ace. Good job, congratulations, Ace. It was good. Backed by the developers. I have never spoken to the Equinox developers. This was just a pure mathematics. Incredible. Just incredible games all around. We go back to my podium now. We'll give a clap for a second. Oh, and now I forgot to turn it back on when I did it the first time, so let me hide that again now. Hi, if you forgot, in the past 2 hours, I'm Himi. I play bass in Brimtone, and I'm here to present your awards, and this probably should have gone at the start of the video, but oh well. Himi math, so reliable. I have a spreadsheet that, okay, yeah, 1, 2, 3. It has like 7 tabs up. It has a giant matrix of all the horse game stats and a notes section for that. It was a very pretty game. It was very pretty. It gave me the strongest emotions for several reasons. It had a really interesting story. Like, it was just a really cool game. Like, I don't know about you, but when I read Murder Mystery Horror Horse MMO, that's just, you put your name in a hat and just drew out some names, okay? That does not mean anything to me. But they pulled it off fantastically. That was freaking that was sick. That was absolutely sick, and we are playing it again. Mark my words, we're playing it again. My Little Pony should have been on these. Yes, My Little Pony was in Most Relaxing. I want to say something else too, but I know Most Relaxing it was in. Let me see. Let me pull up my Little Pony. Here we go. Yeah, you should have been Most Relaxing. Yeah. I couldn't read my own writing for a second. I love My Little Pony. You are talking to the one who is the most obsessed with My Little Pony. But at the end of the day, other games just beat it out for individual categories. It was very cute. Thank you for coming, Blackemrald. But My Little Pony was very cute. It just wasn't the most aggressively stand out. Still a good game, though. Do not pay full price for that game. That is my one biased thought. I will say, do not pay full price for that game. If it goes on sale again, which I think it does like decently often, pay the sale price. Had a cutest game category. you are right. Okay, you are absolutely correct. I did not think. Like, all the categories you've seen, I think I thought of on the fly. I forget what game. I think I was playing Rage Rivershine when I had the idea to do a horse awards show. Like, you could actually go back and watch the horse VODs, and you'll find the one where I literally went, I could do a horse awards show. And, like, I actually was writing down in a text file as I was, like, as I was streaming. I was like, I could do these categories. I have to have this. Do I still I think I used Tech Demon as a clipboard, actually, but like, overall, this really was just so much fun. Like, seriously, though, like, this was, like, an aggressive amount of fun. From streaming these games to putting together the awards show, like, absolutely fantastic. I want to thank everybody again for showing up tonight, to all the horse games in general, and just supporting me and the Horse Month and the Neighpril Awards. It means so much, and I'm really happy to see so many people showed up for my goofy game show. I want to give a huge thank you to Vanilla Sky Productions, who, like, very kindly agreed to do an interview, and for Plum for voicing the interview with me. I want to give a thank you to all of my friends who presented a category. You were all fantastic, and they were hilarious. Even if some of them cough through shade. Cough. I want to thank Shoji for letting me steal some of his music. And then I want to thank, I think everybody, I had a list. Oh, I almost forgot my shout out. My one final shout out is to the Spirit 2002 Horse PC game. I have it. It is in my possession. Where did I put it? It's right here. It's right there. We will be playing the Spirit 2002 Horse, like, PC game. I was so busy putting this together, I did not have time to get it streamed in there because I also had work. But I promise we will be playing the Spirit 2002 Horse PC game. If we do a themed month, it will probably not be this month because it won't be May because I need a break. This was a lot. Even taking out the planning of the awards show, just having that many streams on top of a very chaotic month was a lot. But we will have one again. I pinky promise. Maybe June. I don't know. I have to look at my vacation schedule because I'm also going out of town a lot this summer. But it was just a very fun April. And then let me make sure I have not forgotten anything. Yes, Spirit 2002 game. Thank you to all friends. Everything you see that was not a friend's model, that was not Tech Demon or Shoji, was made, like... Yeah, I made Tech Demon and Shoji's models. I made all the graphics. Like, the only thing that was not made by me was the music that was made by Shoji, the official graphics of the games, and then my friends who are not Brimtone affiliated. Other than that, final closing thoughts. Thank you so much one more time. I'm repeating myself. I'm so sorry. You are all fantastic. Thank you so much. I will go to the credit scene in just a second. Where did my credit scene go? Did I not make a credit scene? I made a credit. Okay, it's right there. I'm just stupid. I can't read. Thank you so much. I'll go over the making of this, and also I'll show off. We have a second here. We have a second. Here. Here you go. Just for you. Here you go. This is the outfit. Super fast. Here's the outfit. We'll go over it in a bit more detail later on, but for now, this is the fit. Saved it all stream by the time. Have a good night, horse girl. Oi! You get that for one. This is the one stream. This is the one day you get to call me a horse girl. The one day. Okay, let me put myself back. I have a hotkey for this. Where did it go? Okay, I had a hotkey for that. This seems incorrect. I think I was definitely like lower down for this. I forget. Anyways. Thank you so much for coming. I really do appreciate it. I am going to now say goodnight. I will now play just a little credits, teeny tiny credit sequence. So if you're on Twitch and you're like, who was that person again? You'll have a cool Star Wars looking thing that shows you that, because May the 2nd be with you. All right. Peace out.